Chapter 121 Shichibukai Incident. Could it be that we really have to promise that guy and become his subordinates before we can return to Apahado Island? Even Weber couldn't help but flinch a little after experiencing Xia Qing's intimidation last time. Xia Qing's methods are too tough and domineering, and he, Weber, doesn't dare to gamble, and he can't afford to gamble. Of course, the people who are worried on the entire Sky Island are not only the Shandia family and the last god of Sky Island, Ganfer. Since the last time he had a closed door at Xia Qing, Ganfer has been thinking about making a revolution by himself and regaining the dominion of Sky Island. Unexpectedly, before he could start preparing, Xia Qing would come again. He almost thought his plans were leaked. It scared him a little bit out of his mind. Natsu, the Hunter of Thunder, can't he really give this old man a way to live? Ganfer looked up at Apayado Island and sighed like this. Sky Island, and neither is it at sea. The two Shichibukai lost consecutively, which greatly damaged the deterrent of the title of Shichibukai, so that many pirates in the sea began to move again. Some pirates even began to think about provoking the majesty of Shichibukai. The Marine and Shichibukai's measures to check and balance the four emperors together in the world's main government structure seemed to be unable to support it. The official government of the world, Mariajoy. The existence of this Thunder Hunter Naz is really a threat. The limelight is so strong that it is about to affect our rule. Gorosei, 5 elders, the kimono holding the first generation of the long sword in his arms, squinted, and the glasses showed a different light. Indeed, this kind of person must not be kept, otherwise, we will be caught off guard one day. Gorosei, 5 elders in the blonde suit nodded in agreement. Let's talk about Shichibukai today. Doflamingo and Moria have been defeated by a newcomer one after another, which has damaged Shichibukai's prestige. Is it necessary to expel them, and continue to find 2 people to serve as the new Shichibukai? Gorosei, 5 elders, who had a bald head and had group marks on his head, glanced at the other 4 and said, I think it's better to wait and see. Needless to say, Doflamingo is our important partner and has some secrets in our hands. Then Moria is also beneficial to us now. His technologies are of great help to the high-precision combat robot we developed. If we want to continue the research and development, we still need his help. The bearded, long-haired Gorosei, 5 elders pondered for a while and said, well, it makes sense. This does need to be taken into account. If so, let's do it first. Reserve their places for the time being, and don't easily tear up with them before their value is used up. But if the 2 of them are defeated by a newcomer again, there is no way to do it. Only the strong man breaks his wrist, and then secretly cooperates with them. The last, with curly white hair, a white pingsong beard, a flat hat, and a scar on the left side of his face, summed up the Gorosei, 5 elders. So good. The rest of the Gorosei, 5 elders had no other opinion after a moment's thought. Horror bark. He, I didn't cancel my title of Shichibukai, the official government of the world, I really have you. Moria, who thought that her title would be cancelled, is ready to continue her career. Unexpectedly, the official government in this world is so generous, and continues to retain his title. But Moria doesn't think this is the mercy of the world's government. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 122 Good work, Anna. Probably I'm still somewhat useful to your world's official government. Moria not see the plans of the world's official government. If the world's official government can do good deeds, then the real sows will fly in the sky. Dressrosa. Fufufu, it seems that the gold I have earned in the sky over the years has not been paid for in vain. I just don't know, are you looking at the money's sake or the secrets in my heart? Doflamingo was wrapped like a mummy, looking at the world official in front of him still smiling unruly and unscrupulous. Gecko Moria, Heavenly Yaksha Doflamingo, S. Shichibukai title, when did the world government become so cowardly? This is really unreasonable. What the hell is the world's government trying to do? The other pirates in the sea thought so in their hearts. They don't think this is the mercy of the world's official government. They will only think about whether the world's official government is planning something again. After all, if the world's official government is kind, then there will be no benevolent people in this world. Of course, all this has nothing to do with Shajirching. After all, he is still in a coma. Most of his cells were destroyed by lightning, and it will take a long, long time to recover. Without removing the titles of these two people, what conspiracy is being planned in the heads of the people in the world's official government and the Gorosei, 5 elders? Anna is not an idiot. When she saw this news, she only felt an unusual breath. But she can't tell the unusual reason. She then threw herself into the construction of the base. They now need to establish a foothold as soon as possible before they can carry out a series of subsequent developments. Fortunately, with the help of Enel, although the base construction is not smooth sailing, it can be considered orderly, and a prototype gradually emerged. Time, just like this, slowly passed a month. This guy Doflamingo has caught up to the first half of the Great Route. He is so haunted. In a certain ruin, a young man in a white robe held a newspaper in his hand, and said while looking at it. However, now I won't be as embarrassed as I was a month ago. I already have the strength and capital to fight you, and I won't be easily crushed by you again. This young man, who is not Shajirching, Natsu-sama, Anna-sama is back. He asked you to come, and he wants you to decide something. At this moment, Gills appeared behind Shajirching and said to him. Got it, go right away. Hearing this, Shajirching nodded, indicating that she knew, and followed behind Gears and went to Anna. When Shajirching arrived, Anna had been waiting for a while. It's hard work, I'll leave everything to you this month, I've made you worry about it. Shajirching first gave Anna a big hug, which made Anna stunned for a moment, and then a red glow rose from Shui's neck. Lord Natsu, this is what I should do. You don't have to be so polite, Anna said with a shy tone. I said it's not hard work. Look, you've lost a lot of weight, take a good rest, and then leave it to me. Shajirching couldn't help but scratch the bridge of Anna's straight nose, rolled her eyes and said. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 123 Let them go. Hey, okay, I'll listen to you. Anna is like a little woman at the moment, she is very well behaved. This made all the people around couldn't help staring at it. They had never seen Anna look like this before. Even in their imaginations, this is impossible. Anna has always felt like a cold queen, aloof and cold, keeping strangers away, like a goddess refusing people thousands of miles away. I don't know how many people don't even dare to look directly at Anna. Her beauty and aura are enough to make many people feel ashamed. But now, Anna is like a little girl, shy to say this to Shajirching. I don't know how many people's hearts are directly broken. They thought in their hearts, there, Anna already has a famous flower. The admiration in their hearts disappeared without a trace, making them fight with Shajirching. They still don't have the courage. They also know that they can't win it, and even if they can, Anna may not like them. Anna, that's not bad, it's only been a month since I haven't seen you, and the bounty has risen from more than 100 million to 272 million Bailey. Suddenly, a trace of playfulness flashed in Shajirching's eyes, looking at Anna and said. You already have 521 million Baileys. Isn't it normal that I have 272 million Baileys? Anna couldn't help but rolled her eyes at Shajirching, wondering if it was helpless or coquettish. Ha ha ha, if you don't tell me, I forgot about it, ha ha ha, it's normal, it's normal. Speaking of this, Shajirching suddenly laughed and grabbed his head, feeling a little embarrassed. Okay, that's it. By the way, you asked me to come over and let me decide what. When it comes to business, Anna's expression is also positive, and she said, some guards want to leave. They feel that they are not capable enough, and they are afraid that their lives will not be enough to enjoy their generous salary, so they want to leave. You can decide this kind of thing yourself, there should be no need for me to decide. Shajirching couldn't help but feel a little puzzled. This is a personnel decision, Mr. Shajirching, how can I overtake it? Anna couldn't help sighing, feeling a little tired. Then let them go, give them a little travel expenses, so they can get together and leave. Since they are leaving, it is time to continue recruiting escorts. Just in time, I have a few good goals for the first half of the Great Route. There are many talents in this sea, not worse than those who left. Let them go like this, what if they leak our secrets? When she heard that Shajirching had just let those people go, Anna became anxious. Then what do you want to do, kill people? Shajirching couldn't help but say Isho. I think this method works. Anna actually nodded and said. God, don't be so heartless, I will deal with those guards, and when they leave, I will also clear those memories in their minds. Shajirching quickly stopped. Anna's joke was not funny at all. Got it. Since Shajirching is coming in person, Anna has nothing to say. Okay, go and rest, I've been lying down for a month, it's time for me to move. Now that your base has been built, it's time for our industry to continue to develop. I'm going to choose an island, our power, it's time to start over. After Shajirching comforted Anna, she looked at Enel who looked like a second-rate and said, let's go, this time, let's go together. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 124 Little Garden, Giant. I knew it was me, so I was ready. Hearing that Shajirching told him to go, Enel had an unexpected expression on his face, quite proud. Then who else can I call? You are the #1 expert here, should I call someone else? Shajirching said angrily, and walked towards the guard who was about to resign. After Shajirching quickly erased their memories, he took them all off the Sky Island. Everyone, the mountains are high and the water is long, there will be a period in the future. After saying goodbye to these people, Shajirching walked towards Little Garden. The first target of the two of them is the two giants there. Hope to get them over here, of course, if not, it would be nice to make friends. Recruiting guards and building up forces, Shajirching is skilled and numb. If possible, he would also like to irresponsibly become a moth of the Whitebeard pirates, eating and waiting to die. But when he thinks that if he eats and waits to die, when the plot begins, Whitebeard will die, and he can't calm down. He doesn't want Whitebeard to die, he wants Whitebeard to live well. Therefore, he must strengthen himself to the limit, so as to ensure his ability to turn the tide. Fufufu, Thunder Hunter, you finally appeared, very good, let me see how strong you are now after not seeing you for a month. Doflamingo has been looking for Shajirching recently. But Shajirching has been silent, so everyone on the sea thought that Shajirching was afraid and hid. And now, after hearing that Shajirching actually appeared again, the people on the sea were boiling again. You say, this time, Thunder Hunter and Doflamingo, who will be the ultimate winner? Someone asked. It's hard to say, but I think Doflamingo has a higher win rate. After all, he is Shichibukai. He was only held back by the Thunder Hunter last time. This time, he shouldn't give the Thunder Hunter a chance. I have to say that there is no shortage of people on the sea who can clearly see the form. And the speculation that Doflamingo will win has also been recognized by many people. However, some people believe that Shajirching can create miracles again. Everyone is looking forward to this battle. Lord Shajirching, you must be safe. Sky Island, Anna prayed in her heart. She knew how badly Shajirching was beaten by Doflamingo last time. How terrifying Doflamingo is. Therefore, she only hoped that Shajirching could escape safely. As for the draw with Doflamingo again, she really doesn't think so. She doesn't think Shajirching's strength can grow rapidly after lying in bed for a month. But in fact, Shajurching is really the kind of person who is lying on the bed and his strength is growing all the time. Little garden. Oh, there are two good guys here. It's just that this body is a bit big. If you really recruit these two, it will be a huge output in terms of funds in the future. Enel's HeartNet has already detected the breath of the two people in Little Garden that Shajurching is looking for. Hehe, as long as the solicitation is successful, what is the money? This is a real giant, and their existence alone is already very selling. Shajurching Isho said, this is a very good deal. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 125 Blue Ogre and the Red Ghost. Enel couldn't help but sneer from Vivi, that's based on your success in recruiting them, my lord Naz. Then let's wait and see, if it doesn't work, just be friends. Shajurching glanced at the pile of fine wine on the back of the ship, and was a little confused. Wine, I smell wine. Where's the wine? Give it to me, I want a drink. Before the two of them landed, there were two voices that shattered the sky from the island. Then, the whole island trembled, and the two huge bodies that I saw rushed towards the port at high speed. Blue Ogre Dory, Brokey the Red Devil, don't you two let me go home empty-handed. In Shajurching's original plan, he still wanted to recruit Jinbei, even if he is Shichibukai, it doesn't matter. But just half a month ago, he joined the Whitebeard Pirates. No, to be precise, the Whitebeard Pirates landed on Fishman Island and incorporated Fishman Island into their territory. Let Fishman Island, which has been coveted by various slave traders and malicious forces, regained its peace in an instant. Daddy Whitebeard, hey, that's one step away. As a son, Shajurching certainly couldn't rob Whitebeard. So he had to settle for the next best thing and focus on the two giants in Little Garden. Just as the faces of the two giants gradually became clear, under the sea in front of Shajurching, a red carp sea king with a length of more than 200 meters suddenly appeared. It has a big mouth full of extremely sharp teeth, and it is about to swallow Shajurching together with the boat. Beast, you dare! Before Enel's body was discharged to attack, the two giants rushing over from the island suddenly let out a roaring sky-shattering. Both of them made the same swing. Then, they waved two sharp air cannons that distorted the space together, and the carp sea kings covered with hard scales were bombarded with one blow. These two are really good, no wonder you want to recruit them. Looking at the sea kings who were instantly killed and dropped, Enel's entire body of lightning dissipated again. My friend, can we share some of the wine with you? Can we exchange meat for you? The red ghost poked his huge head, looked at Shajurching tentatively, and asked. Really quite polite. Don't dare, it's fate to meet, you two, do you mind if I go to the island to chat with you? Enough wine. Shajurching laughed. Blue Ogre Dory and Brokey the Red Ghost is hospitality. He believes that the two of them will not reject their kindness after listening to it. Kaba, that's great, thank you so much, little brother. As soon as he heard that he was drinking, the Red Ghost Brokey immediately laughed, bold and direct. Hey, there's finally a drink, little brother, since that's the case, let's get started, I can't wait. Blue Ogre Dory looks like an alcoholic who can't wait, swallowing frantically, looking at Enel with a shocked face. Among them, Blue Ogre is a giant wearing a warrior's armor and helmet, holding a huge long sword in the right hand, a round shield in the left hand, and a long beard. And the Red Ghost is a giant wearing warrior armor, a double-horned helmet, a big axe in the right hand, a round shield in the left, a ring of beards, and a grin all year round. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 126 Banquet, Carnival. While Shajurching and the others were carrying the wine, the two had already prepared a circle of meat and baked it. Not to mention, it was very fragrant. Looks like I'm having a good time today too. Shajur couldn't help but feel the urge to move her index finger when she looked at this pile of meat. Kebab Kaba, you are welcome, little brother, you are a guest from afar, come and eat. The red ghost Braki brought over a thigh that was almost baked and said enthusiastically. Of course, Shajur did not refuse, and accepted it like this. Come on, two big brothers, drink. I have enough wine today. Shajur reciprocated, if others give him meat, he will give others wine. Ha ha ha, then we are welcome. After taking the fine wine handed over by Shajur, the two of them looked at each other at the same time, and after a light touch, they looked up and drank a jar of wine after 2 or 3 sips. Good wine, it's really good, I haven't had such a delicious thing for a long time. The red ghost Brokey wiped the wine from the corner of his mouth and said so. Calculate carefully, it has been nearly 100 years, right? Blue Ogre Dory said a number lightly, but it surprised Enel. Only then did he know that the two people in front of him were over 100 years old. Really can't see it at all. Come on, I'll give a toast to the two big brothers. It's fate to meet each other. I'll do it, you can do whatever you want. Shajur held a bowl of wine and drank it all in one gulp. Not to mention, she was still on top. Shajur face turned red all of a sudden. Hey, well, that's bold enough. Dory and Braki were even more happy seeing this look. As a result, they drank very happily, but within 2 hours, all 4 of them were drunk. The relationship between them is so fast. Boom. At this time, a volcano not far away suddenly erupted. The two people who were drunk at the last moment they saw, stood up instantly the next moment. Then, the two said at the same time, Little brother, we have to excuse ourselves for a while, it's time for us to duel. After that, the two left. The battle between giants cannot be missed. Especially the strength of these two people is quite good. Shajur ran chakra to quickly decompose the alcohol in his body. After sobering up, he followed suit. Bang! The battle began, and a terrifying sound instantly blew the entire island. A shock wave visible to the naked eye raged to the surrounding. I don't know how many trees were destroyed, the power was so strong, it was shocking. Boom! 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 The terrifying sound was accompanied by a terrifying tremor, making the entire island wailing, and the waves of the sea in all directions were rolling and surging. There is nothing fancy about the battle between the two, but every move is very stable and solid, and the power is quite terrifying. The earth exploded continuously in the direct encounter between the two. The beasts on the island are all madly fleeing. Fireworks like sparks were constantly splashing out in the air, which was the witness of the fierce confrontation between the two. Such a battle, with every eruption of that volcano on the island, is going on. The two of them have been fighting like this for more than 100 years, but there is still no winner. The turbulent air, the cracked sawdust, the splashing stones, are constantly turbulent. Shajur ignored the terrifying aftermath and watched their battle carefully. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 127 got rejected. Shajur never let go of their attacking movements, the way they exerted their power, and even any subtle movements. For Shajur, this kind of battle really helps to improve his fighting technique. It turned out to be like this, really eye-opening. Oh, swordsmanship can still be used like this. This punch is so powerful, the power can be enhanced again. Watching the battle between the two, Shajur was also enlightened again and again. A wave visible to the naked eye lingered beside Shajur, powerful and fierce. Boom bang bang. The battle between the two lasted for an entire hour. In the end, the two ended in a tie again, and Shajur also benefited a lot. This trip is worth it. Shajur let out a long breath and jumped off the tree. If the previous Shajur had a lot of obscure things in swordsmanship, then now, there are a lot less. I believe that his strength will increase a lot. Doflamingo, let me see if you will be my test stone. The 3 hoop jades in Shajurching's eyes suddenly joined together and turned into a shape of 3 evenly distributed spheres. Kebab Kaba, Blue Ogre, I will definitely be able to beat you next time I fight. The red ghost Braki sat down, picked up a jar of wine and handed it to Blue Ogre Dory, then took another jar of wine, raised his head and drank it. Little brother, tell me, what is the purpose of your coming here this time? I don't think you are just here to bring us drinks. Blue Ogre Dory asked. Hee, since you've already said this, I won't hide it, just open the skylight and say something bright. I want to recruit 2 to be the guards of my Chamber of Commerce. Dory and the others are so direct, and Shajurching also directly stated his purpose. To recruit us as escorts. Dory was a little taken aback when he heard this, and then let out his unique laugh. Hey, that's the weirdest thing I've heard in 100 years. Dory looked straight and said, there are so many strong men in the ocean, why did they choose the 2 of us? When Shajurching heard this, she couldn't help but feel helpless. Isho, although there are many strong people, there are not many free people. It happens that the 2 are powerful and free, so I am here. Interesting, Kaba, your reason sounds very comfortable. However, it may not be okay to let the 2 of us leave you, we still have things we have to do. The 2 of us won't leave you until this thing is done. The meaning of the red ghost Broki's words is already obvious. The 2 of them understood Shajurching's heart, but they still have things to do, so they won't leave with Shajurching like this. Really can't agree to my invitation. Hearing Blue Ogre Dory's answer, Shajurching couldn't help sighing and asked again. Yes, I'm sorry, little brother, we still have something to do between us, so I can't promise you. The red ghost Broki answered seriously. Well, I know, since it's inconvenient for the 2 of you, then forget it. It's fate to meet, come and drink. After getting Broki's answer again, Shajurching couldn't help sighing, and then raised his glass again. Kaba, come, drink. Seeing that Shajurching took the initiative not to mention this matter, the red ghost Brigi followed his words, making the atmosphere of the scene become harmonious again. They are afraid that when they hear too much that they do not agree, they will come strong. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 128 Get someone with Luffy. Shajurching's strength is not something they can handle. They can feel a strong threat from Shajurching. After 3 rounds of drinking, all 4 of them are a little drunk. 2 big brothers, the wine has been drunk, so I will leave first. If I have time in the future, I will come to see the 2 big brothers, and I hope the 2 big brothers don't dislike me at that time. Shajurching bids farewell. Okay, if the little brother comes again, the 2 of us will definitely prepare a sumptuous meal for you. When that time comes, just bring some wine. Blue Ogre Dory agreed. Okay, then it's settled. Shajurching, Isho, greeted Enel and left. On the ship. Failed the first time, it's so miserable. The next target, you must never reject me again, otherwise, I will go crazy. Looking at Shajurching's appearance, how can there be any feeling of drunkenness? It's all dressed up. Who is the next target? You should find a few targets that are easy to attract, so that you will not be rejected. Enel said. The next target is not well known yet, but it is a potential stock. Shajurching said this, an inexplicable smile suddenly appeared on the corner of his mouth, and said, Luffy, you shouldn't mind stealing 1 or 2 crew members from you. This time, Shajurching's target is not someone else. It is now that he is only 15 years old, but he already has a famous pirate hunter in the 4 Seas region, Roronoa Zoro. The Lukai swordsman who aims to challenge the world's greatest swordsman, Mihawk. East Blue. Natsu-sama, you are not mistaken, what kind of power can there be in a place like East Blue? When she heard that Shajurching's next target was East Blue, Enel, who already had a preliminary understanding of the entire sea, was immediately stunned. He looked at Shajurching in disbelief, and couldn't believe what Shajur-Ching just said. Yeah, it's East Blue, what's up? When Shajur-Ching saw Enel's appearance, she couldn't help issue, and said, don't think that East Blue has the title of the weakest sea, you think there are no strong people there. Don't worry, I have always been very accurate in seeing people, this person will definitely shine. His strength is definitely worthy of me coming in person. Zoro become weaker? Of course not. East Blue, some bounty exchange. Hey, why does that kind of strong man suddenly appear in a place like ours? A group of East Blue's heroes saw the young man in a white robe with a long purple fire-patterned sword on his waist, only to feel a little cold on his neck. If the young man in white robes set his sights on them, then it would be absolutely impossible for them to have a chance to escape. But he's the kind of strong man who will look at the bounty of us people. Could it be that he wants to do a big job in East Blue? Or, is there a big pirate who is enough for him to do it himself? A group of pirates with a bounty of only about 10 million Baileys, looking at Shajur-Ching in a white robe, are all guessing. The reason why Shajur-Ching appeared here, of course, was to get reliable information. According to the news, Zoro will appear on this island, he just needs to wait. In order to recruit Zoro, he is willing to wait. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 129 Recruitment is successful. As expected of the weakest sea, it is a priest under my command, I am afraid that all the pirates here can be swept away. Enel, who is behind Shajur-Ching, scanned the strong men on the island with Shinette. The result was a big disappointment to him, they were a bunch of scumbags that he didn't like at all. That's because the pirates who were a little bit threatening were all taken away by some idle old man. Oh, here it is, that guy is here. Just as Shajur-Ching said this, his observation haki suddenly sensed Zoro's breath. Oh, it's finally here. Enel's heart network was immediately probed away. Then, his brows could not help wrinkling. This kind of thing is not as good as some garbage on this island. Is he really worth recruiting? Enel looked at Shajur-Ching suspiciously. He is serious that Shajur-Ching is teasing him. He will surprise you when he grows up in the future. Now he is only 15 years old, don't worry. In the face of Enel's doubts, Shajur-Ching could only use a few words about the future to prevaricate him. After all, it will take years for Zoro to grow. What, he came here to recruit that pirate hunter Roronoa. Zoro, right? Why is that kind of newcomer worthy of his personal recruitment? What do I think? There is nothing outstanding about that guy. The surrounding pirates naturally heard the conversation between the two, and they couldn't help but explode. And Zoro, also ashore. With several bloody packages in his hand, he walked towards the gate. But soon, he stopped because Shajur-Ching blocked his way. Why, want to fight? Zoro, who was only 15 years old, was not as restrained as when the plot started in the future. Right now, he is at his most energetic and, of course, his temper is the most irritable. I am recruiting people, do you want to join us, so that you can challenge the world's largest swordsman Mihawk faster? Shajur-Ching knew exactly where Zoro's weakness was, so he threw out his own chips. You sure? Hearing that he could challenge Hawkeye Mihawk faster, Zoro's eyes burst into endless fierce light. Of course, I'm very sure. How, do you want to join us? Shajur-Ching looks like a bad uncle kidnapping children. Okay, I promise you. Zoro agreed immediately after hearing it. But before Shajur-Ching could say anything, Zoro said, but if you let me know that you are lying to me, I will cut you with my own hands. Zoro's words are extremely serious, and his eyes are like a tiger, which makes people feel chills. Of course, I, Thunder Hunter, do what I say and never lie. Shajur-Ching patted her chest and assured. After joining my command, you can not only challenge Mihawk, but also many other powerful swordsmen on the sea. Such as Shiryu of the Rain, Foil Vista, and other top swordsmen. This is a treatment that can only be enjoyed by joining me. Shajur-Ching smiled and threw out a bigger temptation. I hope you're not talking big, otherwise, I'll let you know how good my swordsmanship is. Zoro couldn't help but breathe a lot thicker, heavier. Fighting against a powerful swordsman is definitely an irresistible temptation for him. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 130 Dig the Crocodile Corner. I almost forgot to mention, I myself am a swordsman, and I am a swordsman. Although it is not as good as Foil Vista, Shiryu of Rain, etc. But the wheel pair is also one of the elite swordsmen, better than 90% of the swordsmen in the world. Shamuyang watched Zoro's eyes light up instantly because of his own words, and he smiled with satisfaction. Let's go, our next stop is the Great Route. Since Daz Bones has not joined the Baroque Works Club, we can't let it go. Shajur-Ching greeted the two to board the boat, and then, under the watchful eyes of the pirates on the island, left like this. I came here in person, just to recruit a newcomer, this pirate hunter Roronoa. What kind of magic does Zoro have? It is worth recruiting by a strong man like Thunder Hunter. These pirates on the island have no idea at all. They don't understand that there are so many times on this island that Roronoa. Zoro is more powerful, why does Shajur-Ching only recruit Roronoa? Zoro alone. West Blue, on an island. Okay, I will join you, I hope it can bring different joy to my life as you said. After listening to the words of Shajur-Ching's solicitation, Daz Bones agreed directly. But his tone has no emotion, which makes people feel a little unreal. Welcome to join us, Daz Bones. He looked like a monk with the word, Shan, tattooed on his chest, but he was extremely taciturn. Daz Bones, who was born as a killer, said Shajur-Ching with a smile on his face. Call him Daz Bones, maybe not. Not many people know each other. However, if he changed his name to another name, it might be better. He is none other than the man who will become Crocodile's right-hand man in the future, a man named Mr1 in Baroque Works. Those with the ability to cut fruit quickly can turn any part of the body into a blade, and at the same time make the skin as hard as steel, which can be called the nemesis of swordsmen. In the original book, he once forced Zoro into a desperate situation. Just a few minutes after Shajur-Ching recruited Daz Bones, Crocodile in Alabasta suddenly sneezed for no reason. He inexplicably felt that he was missing something. Why do I feel this way? Delusional. Still too tired. Crocodile shook his head, and continued to study his plan with energy. He didn't care at all why this sudden strange feeling appeared. He may not know that just now, his right-hand man in the future was dug away by Shajur-Ching. This guy's strength is still a bit of an appearance, and his strength is really good. Lord Natsu, who is our next target? I'm starting to look forward to it. Enel glanced at Daz Bones and asked excitedly after expressing his opinion. Don't worry, the next goal is not so easy to join us, this is a very difficult role. Having said that, Shajur-Ching's eyes narrowed to Vivi, and a rare flash of solemn color flashed. Shajur-Ching's next goal, although the current strength is not strong. However, he is a very skilled, smart and cunning existence. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 131 Doflamingo strikes again. The most important thing is that it is not a character who is willing to be subservient to others. Like Enel, it is a relatively difficult character. Most importantly, he is a Logia capable. Oh, it's hard to do. It can make you look so solemn, it seems that this person is really a bit extraordinary. I'm starting to wonder about this man, where is he? Let's go. I want to see what's different about him to make you look so solemn. Enel urged with an impatient look. Don't worry, that person is in the new world. Before that, let's see if there are some dusty pearls on this great route. If Shajur remembers correctly, there are still many talents in the first half of the great route. It's actually here. How can you be worthy of yourself if you don't explore it carefully? Imagination is beautiful, reality is cruel. The three of Shajur searched for the first half of the great route for 3 days, but they did not find a few suitable talents. Except for a bounty of 66 million Bailey, nicknamed Phoenix, and a man named Zephyru, got nothing. It seems that talents are not so easy to find. In other words, all talents have been arrested in Imper prison. Shajur sighed like this, and when he was about to continue his journey, his face suddenly changed, and then he suddenly stepped into the air and drew a sword, and a sword wave flew out. Boom! A terrifying explosion sounded above them on Enel, shaking the whole sky. Furfur, I didn't expect your observation hockey to be so strong. Not bad, very good at perceiving danger. In the sky, suddenly came Doflamingo's unruly and icy voice. Doflamingo, you're so haunted, you've been chasing us all the way here, it's really hard for you. Shajur stepped on the moon step, looked at Doflamingo who was coming at high speed in the sky, grinned and revealed a gloomy smile, saying, Furfur, last time, I let you succeed, I had to retreat from the persecution. But, Doflamingo said this, with a sudden blue vein on his forehead, and said, the batch of goods you intercepted from me was given to that lunatic Kaido. Now that the goods are gone, and the angry Kaido needs an explanation, I think about it, it's your life, the most appropriate. By the way, I will also give you back the humiliation that I lost to you a month ago. Doflamingo actually landed on the sea. What made Shajur pupils shrink was that the sea under his feet turned into a dense white line. You have reached the realm of awakening the power of fruit. Shajur looked at Doflamingo in surprise. Thanks to you, in the midst of thunder and lightning, in the crisis of life and death, I stepped into the awakening level. Doflamingo's hand, tentacles formed by several white lines protrude, wrapping armament hockey, exuding a terrifying sharpness. To thank you, let you be the first experimenter. Wild waves and white lines. Doflamingo, who saw him, arranged tens of thousands of thin transparent white lines horizontally, forming a raging wave like an ocean wave. Without waiting for Shajur to dodge, he surged up from below Shajur and directly wrapped him in a twist shape. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 132 Enel is desperate. Die. Doflamingo squeezed hard, the white thread tightened instantly, and there was a tearing sound inside. The blood flowed out all of a sudden, dyeing the white line red. How is that possible? It wasn't until the white line was dyed red with blood that Enel and the others reacted. I'm coming. You are not his opponent. Enel stopped Daz Bones, Zoro and Zephyru who wanted to shoot, so he tapped the thunder drum on his left shoulder and shouted, take the power of your Lord Enel. 100 million volts. Brontosaurus. Thunder and lightning roared down the sky, turned into a sky-breaking thunder dragon, and attacked Doflamingo. The entire sea was instantly shrouded in thunder and lightning, and terrifying cracks were torn apart, extremely powerful. The same trick, do you think it will work? Thousands of arrows pierce the heart. Feather strikes. Lines. Facing the incoming thunder dragon, Doflamingo gave a loud cry. As soon as he waved his hand, there were thousands of white threads wrapped around armament hockey, turning into the shape of flamingo wings and wrapping the thunder dragon, and then PFF'd. Thunder dragon was directly pierced by thousands of arrows, and it was torn apart like this, and dissipated as shattered lightning. Not only that, he pointed at Enel, and a phantom-like whip popped out of his palm, instantly attacking Enel. Whoosh! Enel immediately turned into a thunderbolt and disappeared in place. He dodged, which would have caused Daz Bones and the three of them on the boat. The three of them didn't have time to react at all, and the deck under their feet was torn apart instantly. Not only that, the whole ship was torn in half in an instant, and Daz Bones and the others fell into the sea in an instant. Daz Bones suddenly shrank his pupils, and then, directly sank into the seabed feebly. Not good, save people quickly, he is a capable person and can't touch the sea. Seeing this, Zeppelu couldn't help exclaiming, and then he plunged into the sea and rescued him. Zoro, they don't talk about it first, then Enel. He appeared again, standing on the broken deck. Before he could react, Doflamingo's voice sounded again, followed by a sharp and piercing sound. More than a whip. A huge cutting line came from behind Enel, making people unable to react and resist at all. 100 million volts. Brontosaurus. Enel immediately released a unique move to fight against it, but when he released Thunder Dragon to fight, Doflamingo had already reached him in an instant. 5 color lines. He waved his hand and cut out 5 incomparably long lines, wrapped in thick armament hockey, and blasted the resisting Enel straight out. PFF'd. The broken ship was instantly cut into pieces. Enel was elementalized in time, he was still injured, and suddenly there were several deep wounds on his chest. And Zoro didn't have a deck to rely on, and was directly sunk and fell to the bottom of the sea. 5 color lines. Doflamingo was pressing step by step. Enel hadn't had time to catch his breath. Facing this terrifying cutting line, there was absolutely no chance to resist or dodge. The only end that awaits him, that is, the meat that is cut into pieces, will die. No, how can I, Enel, be so aggrieved? Enel roared unwillingly, but he couldn't escape. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 133 Kaleidoscope Writing Wheel I. Just when Enel was about to be cut into pieces, a figure suddenly appeared in front of him, blocking the blow with a knife. You don't have anything. Seeing the person who suddenly appeared in front of Enel and helped him block the next blow, Doflamingo looked very surprised. Yin Xie is none other than Xia Ching. What? Surprised? Surprised. Seeing the surprised look on Doflamingo's face, Xia Ching said provocatively. Furfur, it's interesting, but speaking of it, I wanted to ask the last time I fought. Your eyes, and someone who died in your hands, are very imaginary. Doflamingo looked at Xia Ching's triangular distribution, but 3 black round pupils, and said. Hee, are you talking about Shui Tong Xia Ching? Don't say it, I always feel the same way. Hearing this, Xia Ching revealed a very strange smile. He thought, it will be a matter of time to be recognized. However, this is not important. Now the most important thing is, Doflamingo, let me see if it is the right choice for me to take the risk of elevating the writing wheel to the kaleidoscope. Xia Ching said a few days ago that the source of his confidence to fight against Doflamingo is his kaleidoscope writing wheel I. Yes, he added almost all the evolution points he had accumulated recently to the writing wheel I, and raised the 3-goose jade writing wheel I to the realm of kaleidoscope. Host, Xia Ching. Shaker State, Kaleidoscope 10,650 50,000. Strength, 230. Skills, Chidori Ninjutsu, Thunderbolt. Lightning Armor. Illusion. Gold Binding, Illusion. Murder in a Dream. Substitute, Transform, Shadow Clone. Observation Hockey, Armament Hockey. Kami E. Life Returns, Shigen Finger Pistol, Rankyaku, Tempest Kick, Moon Step. Swordsman Swordsmanship. Furfur, is it just similar? Doflamingo laughed when he heard the words, and then, with a flick of his finger, an extremely fast bullet line flew out. Bang! Xia Ching swung his sword to block him, but Doflamingo was already approaching. 5 color lines. He once again chopped out a stern long line, with a terrifying sharp breath, and wanted to use the advantage of crushing to force Xia Ching back. But Xia Ching, who was seeing him, said in a low voice, Akina. Then, his right eye turned extremely fast. Om! In an instant, Xia Ching burst out with a sharp aura far exceeding the past, and the sea was directly torn apart by the air. How terrifying! China, all attributes of the booster user, such as strength, speed, strength, etc., can be boosted. The stronger the development of Sharingan, the stronger the increase, and now, Natsumi Yang can double all the attributes. Shajur-Ching, the knife is out. PFF'd. Doflamingo's pupils shrank rapidly. He looked at the huge wound on his chest and the 5-colored line that was easily cut off by Shajur-Ching, and a thick horror flashed in his eyes. One knife flow shadow. Shajur-Ching disappeared in place in an instant, and the speed was so fast that Doflamingo's observation hockey couldn't even sense it. How can it be so strong all of a sudden? Doflamingo was extremely surprised. He didn't dare to neglect, and immediately used his awakening ability to create a wire shield to protect himself. But just when he had this idea, Shajur-Ching appeared behind him and slashed out with a sharp knife. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 134 The Fruit of Terror Awakens. Do you think I'll let you succeed? Doflamingo responded very quickly, shouting, "Shield white line," and then a long white line appeared from the ground and turned into a shield to protect him. Bang! Shajur-Ching's knife had terrifying power, and Doflamingo couldn't help groaning, and the air exploded directly. Little devil, I don't care why you suddenly become so powerful, today is your doom. Hi Yuan, Baibo. When the words fell, the piece of seawater they saw turned into a turbulent wave formed by lines, and they all entangled towards Shajur-Ching and Enel. Rangkyaku, Tempest Kick, Thunder Blade. In the face of this white line with powerful piercing power, Shajur-Ching hurriedly stepped on the moon step and slashed out several extremely sharp sword waves to counter it. This is blessed by Sharingan, and its power is not what it used to be. However, there was absolutely nothing to do about this white line, but within 2 seconds, it was broken by the white line. Not only that, the white line continued to chase after him. Shajur-Ching immediately moved his right eye at a high speed, and quickly stepped on the moon step to escape. Shajur-Ching avoided this move, but Enel was not so lucky. After many difficult dodging attempts, he was accidentally caught. In an instant, blood was dripping, and there were terrifying wounds all over the body. Little devil, how long can you hide? Doflamingo directly threw Enel out, and pursued Shajur-Ching with all his might. Chidori Spear. Lay done. Angry Thunder Tiger. Thunder Escape. Heavenly Thunder Tribulation Punishment. Shajur-Ching was running his right eye ability at an extreme speed, continuously increasing the power of these ninjutsu, and constantly confronting the white line that was chasing after Doflamingo. But the effect is not big at all, basically it is broken at a touch, because the strength gap between the two is too great. Even if there is an increase in the ability of the right eye, Akina, the strength gap between Shajur-Ching and Doflamingo is still very obvious. But after a while, Shajur-Ching was covered in wounds, and also became bloody and breathless. Furfur, kid, do you want to continue to resist? Do you think you can escape today? Today your result is one, and that is to die in my hands. 1,000 arrows pierce the heart. Feather strike. Line. Without giving Shajur-Ching a chance to rest, thousands of threads wrapped around armament completely enveloped Shajur-Ching in the shape of flamingo wings. To pierce his heart with such cruel arrows, let him die of despair in tragic pain. It seems that I can only use that trick. In the face of the thousands of long lines coming towards him, Shajur-Ching's face was quite calm. He whispered, "Susanoo." He saw a terrifying chakra burst out of his body, and then turned into a giant of the god of war with only bones, protecting Shajur-Ching inside. There is no way, his left eye sub-ability has not been developed, and his kaleidoscope is not an illusion type, the enhancement of illusion is not strong, and it cannot achieve a one-hit kill. Boom! The terrifying long line hit Susanoo's body heavily, and the terrifying power made the entire sea tremble violently. Shajur-Ching spat out a mouthful of blood, but this blow was indeed successfully blocked. But before Shajur-Ching was happy, Susanoo made a shattering sound. Then, For a moment, it was like a broken enamel doll, horrible to watch. Start a pair of writing wheels. Pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 135 Susa Takuma. Susano was affected, and Shajurching couldn't help but snorted, and scarlet blood flowed from the corners of his eyes. Furfur, do you think putting on a tortoise shell will help? Kid, no one can save you today. Seeing Shajurching still unable to stop his attack, Doflamingo smiled proudly. He waved his hand again, and another terrifying white line swept away, cutting him into pieces. As expected of Doflamingo, amazing. I wonder if you can be so tyrannical in the face of mature appointments. Shajurching's eyes continued to turn, and a larger chakra burst out. Shajurching only felt the sudden pain in his eyes, and a line of blood flowed down. The shattered Susano that I saw was instantly restored. Not only that, the body that originally only had bones, instantly wrapped a layer of meridian flesh and blood, and the breath became stronger and thicker. And, most importantly, he has long feet to stand up. Drink. As soon as Shajurching drank it, there was a sound from behind Susano, and 3 more opponents came out, and they all held different blades in their hands. 8-armed Shira, this is the name of Shajurching, Susano. Doflamingo, try the power. Shajurching shouted, his aura reached an unprecedented height. If Shajurching had time to look at his strength, he would find that his strength had soared from 230 to 340. PFF'd. That swept away to cut Shajurching into pieces, and was split by Shajurching's sword. Then, seeing the 8-armed Shira swinging the long sword held in his right arm like an enlarged version of flaming fire, he exploded the air at the same speed as lightning, and instantly cut it in front of Doflamingo. This time, Doflamingo couldn't calm down, and immediately waved his hands to make a white shield to block in front of him. Boom! The sea boiled directly, and a large wave of nearly 50 meters roared out. Doflamingo couldn't help but groan. The shield formed by the white thread was scattered, more than half of it was cracked, and was knocked back a long distance. Doflamingo, die! Seeing this, Shajurching roared, and the 8 arms of Shira fell at the same time. In an instant, a terrifying sword intent erupted in the sky, directly tearing the sea apart, with unimaginable terrifying abilities. Little devil, don't be proud of me. 16 holy bullets. God kills you. Doflamingo just opened up. In an instant, 16 white lines of giant waves wrapped around high-density armament rose from the sea, poking holes in the air, and stabbing Susano. Then try it, Doflamingo. Shajurching, who opened Susano, has absolute confidence in his current strength, and the 8-armed Shira again violently confronted with 8 swords. Boom! Behind the 8-armed Shira, who was nearly 30 meters tall, a terrifying wave of more than 80 waves suddenly rose up, sweeping everything, and the entire sea seemed to be turned over directly, cracked and overflowing. Wow! Shajurching's face changed suddenly, and then, a mouthful of blood spurted out. He looked at these 16 holy murder bullets with a look of horror on his face. The power of this move is far beyond his imagination, even more powerful than the mature Susano. Start a pair of writing wheels. Pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 136 Doflamingo is defeated. Little devil, die. Doflamingo was naturally keenly aware of this. Immediately overjoyed, he poured all his strength into it in an instant, and the power increased sharply again, directly pushing the 8-armed Shira back abruptly. And, let the chakra sword in his hand make a cracking sound. What a joke, Ajina, crush him for me. In this situation, Shajurching can no longer retreat. He can't care that using Susanohuo and Ajina at the same time will cause serious damage to his body, so use them at the same time immediately. Use, only serious injury, not use, is death. Om. The whole world suddenly shuddered at this moment. Shajurching's force value soared all the way to 360. Already far more than Doflamingo. 8 Swords. Royal Thunder God. Shajirching's eyes were completely covered with blood, and he roared and manipulated Susanoo, who had reached the strongest peak at present, to strike out. Boom. This blow will almost tear the sky apart and destroy the sea completely, with unimaginable terrifying power. 16 rounds of holy murderous bullets. After this move and the confrontation with God's execution, it only stalemate for 4 seconds, and it exploded directly in Doflamingo's horrified eyes. No. Doflamingo let out a terrified roar, but the whole person seemed to be locked, and could not escape the attack of this knife. PFF'd. Doflamingo was directly torn to pieces by the 8 knives, and completely disappeared above the sea. The aftermath raged wildly on the sea, tearing the sea open with unimaginable huge cracks. It has spread to the far end. Is this Susanoo's strength? Ho 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 ho, I've only just reached this level, and I already have such a terrifying power. Then how strong should I be after I become proficient? And how strong should I be when I can bless lay done on Susanoo? And, that can break the sky with a single blow, which can be called the final form of the god of destruction, the complete body Susanoo, how strong should it be? Complete body, Ja Liden, Ja Ajuna, then there will definitely be an unimaginable terrifying power. Shajirching thought so, but the corner of his mouth couldn't help showing a longing smile. At this time, there was a sudden cough from the sea in front of him, and Doflamingo, who was seeing him, appeared in front of him again, covered in injuries. This guy is ain't dead. Shajirching only felt that the hairs had exploded. Furfur, kid, you're fine. Doflamingo also looked at Shajirching vigilantly, but only said a few words, that is, a mouthful of blood spurted out, his face was extremely pale, and his breath fell to the bottom. Remember, one day, I will personally avenge today's revenge. Kid, we are not finished. Doflamingo escaped unexpectedly, in a hurry, as if he was afraid that he would be killed by Shajirching if he slowed down a step. This guy, looking at this scene, Shajirching couldn't help shaking his head and didn't catch up. The next moment, his complexion also changed suddenly, and then a mouthful of blood spurted out. Susanoo disappeared immediately, and he even fell on the sea. Bean-sized drops of sweat continued to flow out, instantly moistening his body. He gasped very quickly and became extremely weak. Most importantly, there was a sudden pain in his eyes, which made Shajirching have the urge to dig out his eyes. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 137 Terrible Sequelae. His vision became extremely blurred, and the pain was still doubling, making him grit his teeth. He didn't dare to neglect, and quickly exchanged 8 points of pupil power with the remaining 800 evolution points and injected them into his eyes. Immediately, a cool feeling hit him, which made him make a sound of enjoyment. But that's still not enough. The pain is still there. He looked at the state of his own writing wheel pupil power, and he was still far from recovery. Host, Shajirching. Writing wheel eye state, kaleidoscope 11,150 100,000ths. Pupil power, 37 100ths. Strength, 230. Skills, Chidori Ninjutsu, Thunderbolt. Lightning armor. Illusion. Gold binding, illusion. Murder in a dream. Substitute, transform, shadow clone. Observation hockey, armament hockey. Kami E. Life returns, Shigen finger pistol, Rankyaku, tempest kick, moon step. Swordsman swordsmanship. The column of Tongli suddenly appeared after he awakened the kaleidoscope shaker. The full state is 100. If it does not reach 100, it will affect the use of Susanoo, and the power of the kaleidoscope writing wheel will also be reduced. But if you want to force it, there is no problem. But it will leave sequelae and may leave irreversible damage. However, the awakening of the eternal kaleidoscope shaker eye requires 50,000 evolution points, which is a bit scary. Even if Shajirching devotes all the evolution points to the evolution of Shiranyan, it will take 250 days, nearly half a year. Is it possible that the power of the eternal kaleidoscope writing wheel can be several times stronger than that of the kaleidoscope? Xia looked at that column of values and thought so in her heart. You must know that with these 50,000 evolution points, it is enough to make his force value soar by 500 points. He doesn't believe it anymore. Could it be that the eternal kaleidoscope writing wheel I can make his force value soar by 500 points in an instant? Host, please note that after the host's force value reaches a certain level, if the state of the writing wheel has not improved, the system will automatically increase it. If the status of the writing wheel I does not match the host's force value seriously, the host is likely to die due to the conflict between the writing wheel I and the host's body. In the past, when the host's strength was not strong, opening the Ergo Jade writing wheel would consume too much and even drain the host. The system's voice suddenly sounded, and Xia couldn't help but startled. Just when Xia wanted to continue to ask questions, the system was silent. Is this a robber clause? I also have to upgrade the kaleidoscope, otherwise, my life is in danger. Alas, it seems that not all a system is a good thing. At least, there are some things that I can't control at all. Well, with the system's words just now, he just can't do it without improving his writing wheel. The thought in his mind that he would no longer increase the writing wheel, but only increase the force value, could only be stranded. This time, it's really a heavy loss. Looking at Zoro, Zephyru, and the extremely weak Enno lying on the deck, Xia couldn't help laughing bitterly. He himself is also a big wound now, and he can't recover without resting for 2 days. 2 days later. What? Doflamingo went to seek revenge for the Thunder Hunter, and was seriously injured and defeated again. And, this time, he did it alone. My God, what kind of freak is the Thunder Hunter? It's only been less than a month, how can his strength grow so fast? Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 138 You Are Dreaming. Doflamingo is too miserable, he has failed to seek revenge against a newcomer twice. It's a shame that he is still Shichibukai, but he was defeated twice by a newcomer at the same time. The world's official government must have a headache now. The naval battle between Xia and Doflamingo could not be concealed from the gloating reporters on the sea. Therefore, now the newspapers all over the sea are full of news of the battle between Xia and Doflamingo. And there are all kinds of clear battle pictures, and then spread all over the world. As soon as these reports came out, there was an uproar in the sea. Too many pirates, and some underground forces, couldn't believe what they saw. Who is Doflamingo? The king of the underground trade is called the Man of Joker, and on the bright side, he has the identity of Shichibukai, a powerful existence called Heavenly Yaksha. He actually lost to a rookie twice in a row. Moreover, this time he was defeated by others alone, not by a joint force like last time. What kind of realm is this guy's strength? This strength has grown too fast. More than a month ago, it was only enough to defeat the Iron Arm Kuja, and this has already been able to defeat an enemy like Doflamingo. Sengoku couldn't help but couldn't understand Xia strength, it was too weird. If this is his true strength, then this must have grown too fast. It's to the point of tingling my scalp. They already been able to defeat this guy Joker, maybe he's a guy who can pay a little attention. This was said by a certain 4 emperors who liked to drink, and when he drank, he madly beat people with a mace. It's a nice baby to keep as my collection. These are the words of a certain 4 emperors with a sweet tooth. She likes to collect all kinds of interesting things in her life. Cool, this kid is a little bit famous, he can beat that guy from Heavenly Yaksha, not bad. These are the words of an old man who is old and still likes to drink. In other parties, they also instantly listed Xia as the object of attention. There are even bad media, directly crowning Xia with various resounding titles such as, the strongest supernova in history, the strongest rookie pirate, and, Super Rising Nova. In an instant, the name of the Thunder Hunter Natsu was completely spread on the sea. His bounty also soared from 521 million to 600 million in an instant. This is also given by Sengoku in consideration of Shichibukai's face. Otherwise, Shajirching's bounty is likely to go up to 700 million. Defeat Doflamingo, worth the bounty. Sengoku is very aware of Doflamingo's strength. 4 years ago, he had already been offered a reward of 340 million Bailey. It is conceivable how strong he is after 4 years. It is no exaggeration to say that he represents the strength of the middle and upper classes in this world. But such a powerful Doflamingo was defeated by Shajirching. Giving him a bounty of 700 million is no exaggeration. However, Shajirching himself didn't care about all this, and he didn't have time to care about it. Because, he has found the person he was looking for. In the future, Tezzolo, known as Emperor Going, owns 20% of the world's Bailey, and is known as the richest man in the world. Shajirching needs this person very much. In his power, a person like him who can do business is needed. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 139 Impossible Goal. The scientist already has Gers, the manager has himself, and the rest is just a businessman. I don't know why the Thunder Hunter came in person. You won't tell me. It's for me. Is it possible you want to recruit me? Tezzolo looked at Shajirching, showed a standard businessman's smile, and said. At the age of 35 this year, he already has a stable development career, has substantial subordinates, and has achieved great power. He even built the giant ship Grandsoro, and his daily income is innumerable. There is absolutely no need for him to become someone's subordinate and be angry with others. The most important thing is that he doesn't think Shajirching has the ability to subdue him. As expected of Tezzolo, he is so smart, he immediately guessed my purpose. However, you don't have to reject me in such a hurry. I want to ask you, do you really think you can take revenge on Tenryubito if you continue like this? Do you think that with your current power and money, you can make rich people submit to your feet, and even make Tenryubito kneel before the power of money? Having said that, Shajirching smiled with some mockery. He completely ignored Tezzolo's gloomy face, and continued, tell you, if you don't have the corresponding strength to rely on, the more money you have, the happier the world is. Do you think that you used your money to make Tenryubito submit and the world's government to submit? Tell you, you are just a cash machine in the eyes of the world's official government. You may be dreaming if you want them to succumb to your feet. Then how amazing you are, you are just a little pirate with a bounty of 600 million, even less than 1/10,000th of me. Not only are you not as powerful as me, but you are not even as powerful as me. I now have such a large industry. And you, what else do you have but a mouth to talk about? Tezzolo did not show weakness, and immediately responded back. Indeed, I don't have any of these now, but I have talent, potential, and vision that you don't have. Give me a few years, and I can achieve what you are now. I can even do better and bigger than you. The most important thing is that I will be stronger than you. I have more confidence to face the world's righteous government than you. I can make Tenryubito succumb to this matter and become a real reality. Shajirching's remarks can be said to be very loud, and the Tezzolo who said that he stayed silent like this. But Eno on the side couldn't help but pouted after listening. In his opinion, Shajirching's words just now were completely flickering. Really fooling one is one. These words of his are just listening to blood, in fact, they have no substantive effect. But it must be admitted that as a successful businessman, you must be able to fool. Okay, since you can say it so wonderfully and confidently, then let me see how much real ability you have. I'll join you for the time being, but I have something to say before. I only give you 6 years. After 6 years, if you can't achieve the results I want and let Tenryubito submit to my feet, I will leave immediately. And, you need to compensate me for all the time lost in the past 6 years, which will be enough to make you vomit blood. If you dare to agree to this condition, I will also agree to your request and join your command. Tezzolo is a businessman after all, and his words are different, and he is full of calculations. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed. Chapter 140 Revenge from the Four Emperors. Hee, why not dare? Just wait and see, 6 years later, you will not be disappointed. Don't look at Shajurching's promise so easy, but his heart also doubled the pressure instantly. In 6 years, Tenryubito was forced to submit. I have to say that the pressure was too strong to say. Okay, then I wish us a happy cooperation, Lord Natsu. There was a sneer at the corner of Tezzolo's mouth, and the laugh made people tremble, even Shajurching couldn't help feeling a little hairy. Happy cooperation. Shajurching smiled a little unnaturally. He suddenly had a feeling of shooting himself in the foot. It seems that I have to work hard, otherwise, I will really shoot myself in the foot. Shajurching knew that from the moment he recruited Tezzolo, he had to work hard to develop the power. And, continue to work hard to enhance your strength. Otherwise, there is really no way to reach the level that Tezzolo said. Since you made a request for me, then I'll make a request for you too. Shajurching looked at Tezzolo, and also showed a fox-like smile. My goal is to build the sea, and be richer than the world's official government. Are you confident? If you don't have confidence, then when you leave, I will not take any responsibility and you will not get any compensation. Of course, Tezzolo can't just mention the request. Shajurching is too passive. It's exactly what I want, just wait and see, that day will come. Of course Tezzolo wouldn't be afraid of this. He completely ignored the worried expressions of his subordinates behind him, and agreed. Then wish we can all accomplish our goals, Shajurching said with a smile on his face. Tezzolo is not only a business talent, but also a good combat talent. The strength is similar to that of Doflamingo. After a few years, he is a good fighting talent again. If he succeeded in recruiting him, he definitely earned it. By the time of Tezzolo, the talents Shajurching wanted to recruit were almost there. There are others, which will take a few years to talk about. Not in a hurry. Let's digest and absorb the current talents first. Dressrosa. Shajurching, between us, it won't end like this. Kaido won't let you go. Furofura, just wait for Kaido's revenge. Once again, Doflamingo, who was tied into a bandage, looked at the newspaper in his hand, which was all about the battle between him and Shajurching. If you robbed something else, it might be better to say, but what you robbed is Kaido's important research material, which is Kaido's lifeblood. He should have started sending people to hunt you down by now. The anger of the four emperors, I wonder if you can bear it. Doflamingo is looking forward to it. What Doflamingo can think of course Shajurching can also think of. At first, he thought it was only Doflamingo's stuff, but who knows, Doflamingo said it was Kaido's stuff. All of a sudden, things have become troublesome, and the consequences of robbing the four emperors are very serious. That is the emperor who reigns in the New World. When the emperor is angry, his blood is floating. Who will be sent? The three disasters are still the real fights. Shajurching is very curious about what kind of lineup Kaido will send. Start a pair of writing wheels, pirates, start with a pair of writing wheels. 38kanshu.com has the fastest update speed.